He has 4 gates up and running right now, 4 warp gates, and with that proxy pylon, he'll be able to, whenever he does decide to do his timing push, he will be able to warp in another wave of 2 units very close to the front lines here so that he can get that extra push on his offensive. But he does have his Nexus up and running at his natural now, so he's trying to get some probes up there and actually sending a little bit more than he needs to this first expansion.
He's
here.
pulling a 13 right there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys don't know what we're referring to, he 13 here played in a 1v1 tournament and accidentally misclicked his rally point somewhere in the middle of the game and ended up sending about 16 probes to one Vespene Geyser, so that was very unfortunate.
You always have to bring that up, dude.
Anyways, actually it looks like WhiteRa getting up into Cloud's base and picking off one of his ghosts. Meanwhile, there is a large infantry force consisting of only Marines and Marauders moving up into the base, or actually moving across the map towards WhiteRa's base, and it looks like Cloud managed to barely save that last ghost there. It only had a few HP left, but WhiteRa just trying to get maximum damage out of these stalkers right now, managing to take down a decent amount of Marines here. And it looks like this is going to be very close, although there is a lot of reinforcements coming in here. Both of those Marines just barely managing to stay alive with only 5 HP, it looks like. But there is a... what's in here? High Templars. It looks like he's got a Warp Prism full of High Templars here. Possibly going to be trying to do some Psystorm on the mineral line, but I'm wondering if once he sees this, once he sees his infantry ball moving out, if he's going to try to possibly get in a position to intercept that.
Yeah, I think this ensuing battle is just going to go down to micro again, just like that last game. Cloud has those ghosts, which will be able to EMP all of WhiteRa's HTs. We'll see if WhiteRa can avoid that and get some nice ice storms off on this bio ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Cloud is actually moving out, possibly going to try to take this high yield base. He does have an SCV moving over there. Meanwhile, though, there is a High Templar drop going down at the mineral line for Cloud. Oh my goodness, and so much damage.
Is WhiteRa going to warp some more in? Looks like he is.
Oh man, and there are some more High Templars coming in right now. With that energy upgrade, those High Templars can warp in and immediately cast Psystorm. And it looks like one of these High Templars does have 7 kills, the other one has 6, so a lot of damage from just these few High Templars here, managing to take out a huge amount of Cloud's economy. And if we look at the income right now, we can see WhiteRa has a huge advantage now in the income after dealing all that damage. But he is going to need to hold that lead for a little bit to really catch up.
And I think we might see Cloud actually try to counter a little bit. Looks like he's moving his units into position for that to happen.
Yeah, he is massing up outside of WhiteRa's base here and getting ready to push in, although there are a lot of Zealots and High Templars ready to defend this base right now. So do these Zealots have charge yet? No, they do not. Oh, it just comes online right now as I mentioned that. Wow, it looks like WhiteRa actually playing the way I would decide to play. So
he got a very nice EMP off on 2 of those HTs. Looks like he's only going to have 1 with energy at this point.
A great Psystorm, though. He gets a lot of that infantry ball, and these charged Zealots are just going to go to work on these Marauders and Marines, although going to have to back off a little bit with the reinforcements coming into play right now. But getting 1 Archon from those ones that were EMP'd. Oh, and getting another High Templar, managing to really stop WhiteRa's Psystorm, which last game, that was really what got WhiteRa back into the game. So we'll see if he's able to stay in this game with just using his Zealots, although getting in another HT and a great Psystorm there. These charged Zealots are going to have no problem cleaning up the Terran army. And I know I've said in the past that I feel like Terran is a little bit OP in the game currently, but WhiteRa definitely making it look like this game that is not the case, because he is just absolutely having his way with Cloud right now.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't noticing what WhiteRa's doing, he's actually warping those HTs in fresh, and you'll notice that when HTs come in, they have just enough energy to put down 1 Psystorm when you have that amulet upgrade, which is a 50 energy upgrade. It's very effective. It's almost imperative to have that upgrade when you're building HTs.
Especially if you like to play that reactionary style of play where you're warping in the units you need just at the last possible moment, which is, it really seems to favor what WhiteRa likes to do. He has a decent sized force, but then he also likes to support very quickly with reactionary units to whatever kind of opposition he's facing. And it looks like Cloud going to move back in here and take out the units that WhiteRa is morphing in. Oh, and just barely managing to take out that Warp Prism before those last few units warp in, and you can see those units just got canceled right in the middle of warp in. So, but there are a lot of High Templars, Zealots, and Archons moving across the map right now, and this is a small but deadly force. As we saw just a little bit ago with the, oh my goodness, and a great EMP taking down all the energy for 2 of those High Templars, and a flank coming from some infantry here. But I don't know if that's going to be enough, because there are a lot of Zealots and Archons here, although finally Cloud getting himself a medevac, which is exactly what he needed, but managing to pick off that last ghost there and getting some more Psystorms off. Cloud is going to GG. So it looks like WhiteRa actually takes down this best-of-5 series, winning it 3-1. So decisively taking out Cloud. But anyways, 13, what do you have to say about that matchup?
Well, that just has to be so frustrating for Cloud. He's getting some great EMPs off on those HTs of WhiteRa's, but WhiteRa just keeps warping in fresh ones and getting off some great Psystorms on that bio ball. Really frustrating stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the warp and technology, you can just see how crucial it is for Protoss players being able to pull in reinforcements anywhere they need on the battlefield. This proxy pylon really never getting scouted by Cloud, and that allowed him to bring in that last set of HTs, which really broke his back in this last battle that we saw here just a few seconds ago. But having the ability to warp in those HTs right at the last minute and get him some more Psystorm. As we could see, the EMP, as you mentioned, was being used up on a lot of those High Templars, but because WhiteRa was staggering the High Templars that he was warping in, the EMP would only get 1 or 2 High Templars at most. Then he was able to warp in another 1 or 2 High Templars, which had enough energy to cast that next Psystorm. So that was really what allowed him to turn that game around.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that separates really good players from pro players. You know, pro players space their units out just so effectively, and micro them just a little smidge, where it's really hard to get a great EMP off on that whole mass of units.
Yeah, absolutely. So WhiteRa once again showing why he's such a good Protoss player in StarCraft 2. And as you mentioned, he's, what is he, Grandpa Toss?
Grandpa Toss is his nickname, yeah.
Grandpa Toss, so I might have to start calling him that from now on. But anyways, great games from these guys, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of it from them when the game gets released on the 27th, which is right around the corner.
I can't wait, man.
Thanks for watching, guys. GG.
GG.